Do you own a newer home with a bedroom that's always too cold?
Or are there parts that just don't feel comfortable to live in?
It's a more common issue than you might think.
Let's find out how to fix it.
Today on PowerHouse, we'll walk through a new home that isn't as comfortable as it should be and find out what's causing the problems.
Then we'll strap on our tool belts and show you just how easy fixing some of those problems might be.
Plus, we uncover an issue the homeowner didn't even know they had.
That's next on PowerHouse.
When most people buy a newer home, they don't expect to find problems you might find in an older one.
Things like one room being colder than another or leaks and drafts. But in many cases, new homes have just as many comfort issues as older homes.
Meet Silas Hepner. He checks out all types of homes to find out what might be causing comfort issues. More often than not, they're easy fixes.
Hi, Silas. How do you figure out when you come into a home what's causing the comfort issues?
The first thing I like to do is interview the homeowner, have them give us a tour of the house and see what the issues are in their perception. And really what we're looking for is room-to-room comfort issues. Where's the heat going? Where should it be going? And can we make some adjustments to put it there?
What's the most common complaint that you get?
Usually the issues that we see are room-to-room comfort issues, like a room that's too cold, a bedroom that's too cold, and sometimes rooms that overheat. And also level-to-level comfort, maybe a basement that's too cold or an upper level that's overheating.
Silas, we're in a house that's about 5 years old.
Right, and it's Energy Star too, so you wouldn't expect a lot of problems.
So again, do you come across that with a newer home with comfort issues?
Yeah, in reality, most of the calls that we get are for homes that are less than 5 years old. And I think the reason for that is people that have the old 100-year-old house know that it's going to be inefficient and leaky, but people who buy a new Energy Star certified home expect that it would be more comfortable and more energy efficient.
So what are the problems that you found in this home?
So in this home, we have rooms that are too cold, not getting enough heat. We have a basement level that's too cold, and we also have a bedroom that's getting too much heat and overheating, and also has a very loud duct.
All right, let's take a look.
So here we're in one of the basement bedrooms, and you can just feel in here
Yeah.
it's uncomfortably cold.
Yeah.
So, Silas, what would be the cause of something like this?
Well, we're not really sure yet, but it could be something like air leakage through the wall or the window, or an insulation problem, or maybe even just from the two ducts, we're just not getting enough hot air.
But you'd think with two ducts that it might keep the temperature better, wouldn't you?
It's possible, although these are the problems that we see in rooms that are far away from the furnace.
All right, and this is one of 3 rooms with this same issue.
That's right, all on one side of the house.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Let's go take a look. So in this room, we have the opposite problem. We're actually pushing too much air and overheating the room, and it's causing a lot of noise.
The homeowner had said they called it the loud room, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What do you think is causing this problem?
So I think it's just a simple matter of we're blowing way too much air through this duct opening, and it's just causing a lot of turbulence and noise. In fact, we can show you right here. There's enough air that I can literally levitate my hat.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, is this an issue, Silas, that you think, you really can correct?
Yeah, I think we can get to the bottom of this. This is a problem that I think we can mitigate with a little bit of attention to the ductwork.
Great. I'm going to let you guys get your gear and get started.
Great, thanks.
So here's our situation. We're in an Energy Star rated home that was built 5 years ago. The homeowner has a few comfort complaints. 1, at least 3 rooms in the basement are not getting heated or cooled air. 2, one of the rooms has a loud noise, and 3, gets way too much air, so it becomes uncomfortably hot or cold, depending on the time of the year. Hopefully we'll be able to figure out what's going on in this house. Now, if you have comfort problems and looking for ways to solve them in your house, visit our website at powerhousetv.com.
Did you know, on average, a house will lose about 20% of heated or cooled air to the outside? A way to combat this is to get your ducts inspected to make sure they're sealed properly and insulated if necessary.
Kitchen appliances are expensive to replace. That's why you want to keep them running in tip-top shape so they last as long as possible. Now, there are some easy things you can do to help avoid expensive repairs or replacements. The hardest working appliance in your kitchen is the refrigerator. It's always working to keep food at a consistent temperature. It does this by a motor pushing a gas refrigerant through coils to soak up the heat and keep the contents inside cool. The coils get dirty and dusty over time and will make the refrigerator work harder. You should clean them every 6 months or sooner if you have pets. The coils are usually located at the bottom of the refrigerator behind a kick plate, or in the rear of the refrigerator behind a panel. Older models have them exposed in the back. So how do you clean them? You need a vacuum cleaner with a crevice tool and duster, or a refrigerator coil brush, and they cost about $5. Use the vacuum cleaner to suck up large particles and dust. Then while you have the vacuum cleaner tipped near the coils, use the duster or brush to get in between the coils and wipe loose any other debris. And that's it. Replace the kick plate and you're good for another 6 months. For more ideas, visit our website at powerhousetv.com. Welcome back to PowerHouse. We're walking through a newer home that has some problems with comfort. We're trying to determine through some testing what's causing those issues. And Silas, we're standing in front of a blower door test. We've utilized this numerous times on PowerHouse. What are you looking for with this test?
So when I get a call from a customer who has got a comfort complaint, I need to start to narrow down, is it a heating and cooling issue, or is it an insulation and air leakage issue, or some of each? So what the blower door is going to help me figure out is, it's like a simulation of about a 20 to 25 mile an hour wind hitting all sides of the house at the same time, including down from the attic and up from the basement floor. And what that's going to tell me is, number one, how much air leaks in and out of the house, and where are those leaks so that we can go around and fix them.
Okay, now you've already run the test in this house, and through your pressure and flow gauge, we've got some numbers here. What are they showing you?
Yeah, so when we run the blower door in a depressurization, we're running to about a minus 50 Pascal pressure difference, and that's just literally the pressure difference from inside to outside. And then under that condition, we were able to measure 934 cubic feet per minute of air leaving the home. And so for every unit of air that I blow out of the house with the fan, 1 unit of air leaks in wherever there's a gap or a crack.
So how tight is this house?
I would consider for the size and square footage of this house that 934 cubic feet per minute would be very tight.
Okay. Where's that on a range?
Normally a house like this could be anywhere from about 700 to 2,000 cubic feet per minute.
So you can see some real differences when you get into the house with the blower door test.
That's right.
From this now, what does this help us determine around the house?
I think it's safe to say that we probably don't have much of an air leakage or an insulation issue here. We can really focus in on the HVAC.
Okay, we're gonna head down to the furnace room?
That's right.
All right. All right, Silas, we're in the furnace room. What are you looking for when you come in here?
So the biggest thing is we want to make sure we have the right amount of airflow through the piece of equipment. And to do that, I'm going to take some pressure measurements, kind of like blood pressure in the human body.
Okay, and you said you've drilled a couple of holes here.
That's right.
And you're getting, what are you using there?
This is a digital manometer.
All right. And you're looking for a specific reading off of that?
Yeah, so we want to make sure we're less than 0.80 inches of water column.
And your numbers are?
And it's looking like we're pretty good. We're about 0.60. So that tells us that the equipment is functioning the right way. We have the right amount of airflow through the system for it to work properly.
Okay, that's a good thing. I look up here and I see this house has a zoning system.
That's right. So we have 2 zone control dampers that operate from thermostats on each the main and the basement levels. And what that does is it gives the homeowner a little bit more control over the temperatures on each of those levels.
Okay, so overall, your visual inspection, we're looking good right here.
Yep, we're looking good. I think we can go ahead and start the air balance process.
So now we want to go out and get a sense of how the airflow is throughout the house?
That's right.
Check out some of the registers?
Let's do it.
All right. So Silas, what is this contraption you have?
This is a flow capture hood, and what it does is it measures all the airflow that comes out of a register and tells us how much in cubic feet per minute.
Okay, now I know the blower's on downstairs, so there should be air going to all the rooms, right?
That's correct.
Okay, can you show us how it works?
Yeah.
All right, so you're really getting a reading now on how much air is coming out of this register, right?
That's right. And it's not very good. In fact, we just hit 0.
All right, so what could be the problem then?
Well, we could probably go back and check our zone dampers and make sure we don't have a restriction there.
Okay, so that's a real possibility. I'm interested then to see the room that has the hat that levitated.
Yeah, we should see something completely different there.
Okay. All right, Silas, what are we testing here in the room?
So we're gonna measure the airflow out of our noisy register here. See what we get. And so the target airflow for this room is about 60 cubic feet per minute. And as you can see, we're really kicking up to probably over 200 CFM.
Wow. Can I check the second register?
Yes.
All right.
You can just already feel the difference
yeah.
here. Oh yeah. We're gonna be a lot closer to about 20 cubic feet per minute on this one.
All right, what's causing the difference between these two registers?
Well, it could be that there's a restriction in the duct that serves this register, like a bend or a twist or lots of elbows or something. And this one, it could just be where it connects relative to the fan.
Okay, and you're confident you can get at this issue?
I think so.
All right. Tell you what, Megan's really good at fixing things. I'll have her work with you on that.
Sounds good.
Do you have something you'd like to share with us? It's very simple. Follow us on Facebook and check out our energy and money saving ideas and give us a like or two.
Did you know a sign of leaky ductwork is an overly dusty house? Leaky ductwork can allow debris from inside walls and attics to be collected and distributed throughout a house, making it dusty more often. Get ready for summer by cleaning off the coils of your air conditioner. Here's how. Turn off the power to the unit. Safety first. Then, unscrew and carefully take off the fan to the outside unit. You might need some help with this. Pull out any loose dirt or leaves from inside the air conditioner. Then, get out a hose and spray off the coils and fans from the inside out and from top to bottom. Replace and attach the fan and flip the power switch back on, and you're done. It's an easy way to get your air conditioner ready for summer, and best of all, it's free. For more ideas, go to PowerHouseTV.com. Welcome back. So here's what we're doing. The home we're visiting today is about 5 years old, and while it's an Energy Star home, the homeowners have had some comfort issues. So we're trying to get to the bottom of those issues. Several rooms aren't getting enough air. One room has a loud noise when the heating and cooling equipment is running, and that same room either gets way too hot or way too cold, depending on the season. Pete and Silas did some testing around the home. They did a blower door test to check out air leaks, and then they checked out the heating and cooling equipment. And finally, they did some pressure testing in each of the rooms. So, Silas, what did you guys find out?
From the blower door test, we found out that we really didn't need to focus on the air sealing or the insulation because the home was very tight. So we knew we could focus on the heating and cooling system. And so we started out by looking at the heating and cooling equipment itself, and everything checked out there. As we went through and did some airflow testing in the rooms, we did find that we had a stuck zone damper. So all of our instrumentation led us to believe that all the zones were operating properly, when in reality this zone damper was stuck closed, which was eliminating airflow to 3 bedrooms in the basement.
It was something as simple as a switch?
Something very simple, that's right.
Wow, that was pretty lucky.
It was really lucky, especially because we were about 2 minutes away from taking a claw hammer to the wall to find out if we had a disconnected duct.
Oh my gosh. Well, you solved the problem in 3 rooms.
We did. So the original reason that we got called was for the room with the really high airflow and the loud noise. And what we found out was the duct that went to that room actually connects right over the furnace. And when that happens, the airflow from the blower has no resistance, so you just get way too much air and a lot of noise.
And like a proximity issue.
That's right. And the other issue is where that duct connects is not controllable by the zone dampers. So regardless of whether the basement or the main floor thermostat is calling for heat, that room's always getting heat blown into it.
It's responding to every zone.
That's right. So the great news is the solution to that, we can just take that duct completely out and seal it.
Wait a minute, if you seal off that duct, is that room going to get any air at all?
The good news is we've got a second duct into that room, and doing some air balancing, we can put just the right amount of air to make them toasty.
I think the homeowner is going to be really happy with this.
I hope so.
Are these common problems in newer homes?
You know, it is. Little weird stuff like this seems to happen quite a bit, which is part of the reason that we get a lot of our phone calls from homes that are just a few years old.
Okay. Well, what are the other steps we have to do?
We're just going to go out and finish up by doing some air balancing.
Okay. So, Silas, what's the last thing you need to do here?
So after we've made all the repairs to the heating and cooling system, the last step that we want to take is to air balance. And essentially what that means is we're going to take air or heat from the rooms that have too much and redistribute it to the rooms that don't have enough. And we're going to do that by installing these manual balancing dampers. So we're going to use what we call a retrofit damper. And so this literally just slides in to each of the registers that have too much air. It gets fastened with one sheet metal screw, and then I can adjust this damper to redirect the airflow back to a different duct.
How simple. So you just manually adjust it.
Yep.
So you install this, and then can you adjust that at any time?
Yeah, we can close it down to shut more air down or open it up to put more air in the room. Close it down, measure it, and we brought it down to just under 30 cubic feet per minute, which is what we're shooting for.
Great. You know, all in all, these issues were pretty easily solved today, and I think the homeowner's going to find a lot of comfort in this.
I think so too. We solved all of our comfort problems today, but we found an indoor air quality issue.
We did? This is intriguing. Why don't you tell both Pete and I about it? How much hot water do you use when you take a shower? Do you know? You might want to figure it out. All that hot water going down the drain could be like money flowing out of your bank account. That's because your water heater has to use energy to heat water back up in your water tank to make sure you have enough hot water ready for the next shower. Do you follow me? Basically, for all the water that you use, it has to be reheated. Well, today I'm going to show you a simple way to figure out if your shower head is using too much water. Here's what you need: a bucket or container to catch the water and a way to measure it. Now, we've got a marked bucket, but you could use a pitcher and rely on a measuring cup. You'll need a stopwatch and, of course, your shower. And here's what you do. Place the bucket under the shower head and turn it on. Catch the water in the bucket and time it for 10 seconds. When 10 seconds is up, turn off the water and measure the amount of water you captured in the bucket. If you captured more than 6 cups of water, then your shower head is using too much water and should be replaced with a low-flow shower head. Higher flow shower heads use more than 2.5 gallons of water per minute. Switching out to a shower head that uses much less water will save you a lot of water and energy. For example, just using a half gallon less per minute would save you about 1,800 gallons a year. You want to go to your hardware store and pick out a shower head that uses 2.5 GPM or less. That stands for gallons per minute. You're also going to need some threading tape, like this, and either channel lock pliers or a wrench. Make sure your water is off, then simply loosen the old shower head until it comes off. Use the threading tape to wrap around the threads on the pipe coming out of the wall. Make sure you have the washer that comes with the new shower head inserted, and then gently screw on the new shower head. Make sure the fit is snug, but not too tight. That's it. You're done. You have a new shower head and you're using a lot less water. Thank you so much, Silas, for coming in and helping this homeowner find out what all the problems are.
You're welcome. And what we typically find is most of the time we can solve these problems without ripping out really expensive heating and cooling equipment and starting over. We can simply take the systems that the homeowner already owns and make low-cost adjustments that'll make a huge difference on their comfort and efficiency. And so we're not spending tens of thousands of dollars.
Now, I know your home inspection and the testing that you did revealed an issue the homeowner had no idea about.
That's right. So we found through the evaluation that the blower door showed the home is very airtight. And that's great news with respect to comfort and efficiency. The issue that we want to avoid is a buildup of moisture in the house from being so airtight. And so we found that the home doesn't have an adequate ventilation system. The bath fans that exist as sort of the attempt at ventilation aren't set up or have the right amount of airflow to totally ventilate the house. And so we're going to look at several options to help the homeowner out with that.
And again, explain more why that's a problem if a home isn't ventilated well enough.
Yeah, so if we don't have enough ventilation, we risk things like moisture condensation on windows, windows and not being able to get rid of the off-gassing of all of our new products, our new flooring, our new carpets, our new furniture, and those sorts of things. And so we just want to have a nice indoor environmental quality and good air quality in the house.
So what are the options that you're going to offer them? And let's go from least expensive to most expensive.
Sure. So we'll look at a supply or an exhaust-only system, which can be as simple as essentially a return duct pulling air from the outside that has special controls so it only opens and closes as needed, or utilizing a better exhaust fan that can move more air, similar to the bath fans they already have, but with more power, and then controlled in a way that will allow them to ventilate the entire house. Or we can go to something as complex as a heat or energy recovery ventilator, and that system both exhausts stale air from the inside and brings in fresh air from the outside, and so as not to pay an energy penalty, it actually recovers some of the heat from the exhaust air.
Now, this house has exhaust fans in the bathrooms, but that's not what you're talking about.
That's right. Because the exhaust fans don't move enough air to ventilate the entire home, and they don't have the controls to allow them to operate continuously, it's really inadequate as a ventilation system.
And Megan asked that question. I mean, you can go probably from very simple to more complex in terms of cost, right?
Yeah, that's right. So our supplier exhaust-only systems may range in cost from $200 to $500, whereas our heat recovery or energy recovery ventilator option could be as much as $2,000 to $3,000.
So these homeowners here would not have known they had problems unless they talked to you. If somebody out here is inspired to call someone, where should they begin as far as a contact?
We like to encourage folks to start with their local utility who might have a free audit program, and then they could go further than that with some more advanced testing with a firm like ours.
And a consultation like today, how much would that run someone?
Typically $300 to $500, depending on the size of the home and the number of systems we need to test.
Well, Silas, again, a lot of great information you shared with us and with our viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Megan, it's good to know that all types of houses, not just the old ones, have problems that can frustrate homeowners.
We've all had that one room that won't reach the right temperature. It's either too cold or too hot.
But at least we know a lot of those problems can be easily fixed by adjusting some equipment.
And how about air quality? That's really important. Most homes are built really tight, so you have to make sure there's some kind of air exchanger to keep it fresh and safe.
And now that we've addressed and fixed some of those issues in this Energy Star rated home,
We can say that this house is a powerhouse.